Hey guys, welcome back to another great game of CEDH. Starting us off is Connor on RogSi. And what can you say other than this is the poster boy for gotta go fast. This is a turbo strategy running all the Grixis good stuff it can fit in. It's fast, efficient, and great at sneaking in wins before the table even knows what hit him. Next up is Hidden on his Mighty Morphin Dwarf Rangers with Magda at the helm. This is a mono-red combo list that uses Magda's insane ability to generate lots of treasures to not only ramp, but search out key artifacts, and oh boy can it also win quickly. In the third spot is Josh on Winota, Joiner of Forces. Play powerful non-humans, get powerful humans, with a Stax package to slow everyone else down while you beat face. And bringing up the rear is Sam on Marneus Calgar. It's all about them tokens. Marneus gets to play powerful cards such as Smothering Tide and Monastery Mentor to draw so many cards, while droning his opponents in value.
Alright, block there, kill that. Oh, that is trample. Guess I'm just dead on board.
Gonna keep it brief, but I guess by the time you see this, Chicago will almost be over with. But if you're there, let me know so we can grab a game of CEDH. But without further ado, let's get on to the gameplay. Connor does mold a 4, and Hidden actually has a pregame action, as he puts a Gemstone Cavern into play, exiling a Memory Jar. Connor has a Command Tower, and then casts a Commander RogRec. Hidden has a Snow-Covered Mountain, and casts a Dwarven Trader, following it up with a Liberated Dwarf. Josh has a Plateau and a Deafening Silence, with Connor responding with a Fierce Guardianship to counter the enchantment. Sam has a quick turn just playing out a Scrubland. Connor plays and cracks a Wooded Foothills, grabbing out a Badlands, but passes after that. Hidden casts Magda on his turn and heads to combat, but unfortunately for him, Connor is full of responses today, as he flashes in an Orcish Bowmaster, who on ETB pings Magda. Josh plays a Scalding Tarn his land. Cracking the fetch, he grabs out an untapped Sacred Foundry. A Mana Vault then comes out, with him ending his turn with the Ginger Brute. Sam cracks a Polluted Delta for an Underground Sea and passes. Connor has a sad Gemstone Caverns his land and also passes. Hidden casts a Dwarven Armorer and unfortunately misses his land drop. Josh plays a Mana Confluence and then casts his Commander Winota. The Commander resolves, but with Josh heading to combat, Hidden convokes out a Stoke the Flames to deal 4 to Winota. Sam plays a Sea of Clouds as land and taps the land for a Mystic Remora. Connor has a City of Traders and passes with mana up. Hidden is still missing land drops and passes. Josh takes 1 from his tap vault and plays a Mountain as land. He has an Ornithopter of Paradise and 2 Mother of Runes. Sam pays for his fish and then plays his own Gemstone Cavern. He hands the turn over, and at his end step, Connor casts an Ad Nauseam. He gives a card to Sam off the fish, and then triggers the Bowmaster to kill the Mother of Runes. Still with the Naws on the stack, Sam casts a Dovin's Veto to stop Connor in his tracks. Connor floats 2 from his City of Traders and then plays a Misty, sacrificing his city in the process. You know he's in a rough spot when he casts his other commander, Silas, and then ends his turn with combat, sending 3 at Sam, with Hidden at his end step, activating his Armorer to put a +0/+1 counter on his Liberated Dwarf, discarding a Sphere of Resistance to do so. Hidden still whiffs on another land and passes. Josh takes 1 funnily enough to untap his Mana Vault, and then also passes. Sam continues to pay for his fish, ending his turn with a tapped Emeria, Shattered Skyclave.
Yeah, and then it's like you play some hate pieces, Winota plays some hate pieces. I was like, it's really just not getting better.
Connor heads straight to combat to swing another 3 at Sam, with Hidden as end step activating the armor to put another toughness counter on his Dwarven Trader, discarding a Chaos Warp. Hidden finally finds a land as he plays a Barbarian Ring. Magda has unfortunately 4 mana, so he passes the turn. Josh starts off with a Phoenix check, and then recasts Winota again. She resolves, and at the beginning of combat, Connor cracks his Misty for an Underground Sea, and then channels an Otawara to bounce Winota and spare the table at least another turn, with Josh ending his turn sending the Phoenix Chick at hidden for 1. Sam continues to pay for his fish and then plays an Ancient Tomb as land for turn. Connor heads straight to combat and sends 3 more at Sam.
On the Bowmaster beatdown plan.
I wish people were casting more spells, because then...
With hidden at his end step, cycling a twin-shot sniper to deal 2 to the Bowmaster. Hidden unfortunately does not rip the land he wanted, and instead casts an unlicensed hearse, giving a card to Sam. Josh takes 1 from his vault, and then recasts Winota for the 3rd time. She resolves, and at this time, is not removed before combat. Josh sends the Chick at Connor, the Brute at Sam, and the Thopter at Hidden. He has 3 Winota triggers, with the first revealing an Esper Sentinel heading at Sam. The second trigger puts a Thalia, also at Sam, with the third trigger putting a Combat Celebrant, also heading at Sam. Damage happens, and Josh is done after that. Sam finally lets his fish go, and then plays an Otawara as land for turn. Connor plays a Polluted Delta, with hidden at his end step, activating the hearse to exile the Bowmasters and the Adnos from his graveyard. Hidden still doesn't find the land he needs, and has to pass the turn to Winota. Josh takes 1 from his tapped mana vault, and then casts an Imperial Recruiter. The Recruiter resolves and grabs him a Hope of Gearpour, taking 1 to cast the artifact. Combat is then held, and everything turns sideways at Sam. Josh does exert the Celebrant, and has 3 more Winota triggers on the stack. The first trigger whiffs, the second trigger also whiffs, with the third trigger getting him a Zealous Conscripts. He grabs Silas on ETB, and sends the Conscripts at Connor for 3. But before damage is dealt, Sam overloads a Cyclonic Rift, even having the extra mana to deal with the Thalia. Hidden does have a response as he eats 2 cards from Connor's graveyard, with Josh also drawing from the Esper Sentinel. But the bounce resolves.
All my hard work with all the 0 encounters!
And with that, Josh has to discard due to hand size, and passes after that. Sam starts off by casting his commander Marneus, although Hidden is quick with a red elemental blast to counter the commander. But Sam was hoping to bait out counter magic, as he then casts a Grand Abolisher. He passes with Connor at his end step, cracking his Polluted Delta for a Volcanic Island. Connor draws another land as he recasts RogSi and Silas, following that up with a Lotus Petal. Hidden on his turn casts a Bloodline Pretender, naming Dwarves. Josh on his turn drops a Soul Ring into a Mana Vault. He then recasts his Gingerbrute and a Phoenix Chick, and still has mana left over to cast a Hope of Gearpour and Winota. Combat is then held, and Josh sends the Chick at Hidden and the Brute heads at Sam. Unfortunately, he spent his mana on the Hope and can't make the Gingerbrute unblockable. He has 2 Winota triggers, with the first one whiffing again, and the second one also whiffing. And I guess the gods truly do hate Winota, as Sam eats the Gingerbrute and Hidden takes 1. Sam on his turn wants the Winota and casts a Gilded Drake. He then follows it up with a Dothy Voidwalker, and finally ends his turn with an Ariok Salvager. Connor plays a Mount Doom as land and passes. Hidden on his turn starts rebuilding as he recasts his Dwarven Armorer and gets a counter on the Pretender. A Dwarven Trader then comes out, triggering the Pretender, with him ending his turn recasting the Liberated Dwarf, giving the Pretender a 3rd counter. Josh on his turn pays to untap his Mana Vault, and then heads to combat. He sends the Hope and Phoenix Chick at Sam, who takes 2, with Josh sacrificing the Hope to silence him until his next turn, with Josh ending his turn with an Eidolon of Rhetoric. Sam can't cast any non-creature spells for his turn, and instead decides to just recast his commander Marneus. Connor doesn't have much going on, but casts a Rite of Flame for 2 red, and then taps out to activate Mount Doom. He sacrifices Silas as his legendary artifact, and decides to save the RogSi and Hidden's Dwarven Armorer, but blows up the remaining creatures on the field. Hidden then on his turn casts his Unlicensed Hearse and then a Dwarven Grunt. Josh takes 1 from his vault and then casts a Goblin Rabblemaster into a Goblin Crater Maker. He then heads to combat and sends his newly acquired goblin at Sam. Sam untaps and finally drew what he needed, as he casts a Thassa's Oracle into a demonic consultation. Connor unfortunately does not have his second blue card needed for his Force of Will in hand, and the rest of the table are out of option, as Sam exiles his library and wins the game. Game review. Well, not sure if that was the definition of slow and steady, but oh boy, I can't believe the game went on for so long. Although I guess with all the removal that was flying around, maybe I could believe it. And looking back, the only thing I think I would have done differently was maybe bargained with Connor to use the Bowmaster against Josh. Granted, he didn't end up winning off the triggers, but I think I should have struck a deal to at least kill the Phoenix Chick and the Ginger Brute, as we knew Winota was going to come back out on his turn. But man, I can't believe he whiffed so many triggers on Winota. And he really should have won that one if it wasn't for such bad luck. And as for Connor, he tried his best, but the mold of 4 left him without any resources to protect his ad nauseum. And he then just majorly flooded out, letting Sam sit back and slowly assemble his pieces that he needed for the win. And before everyone leaves, I want to thank our special Patreon members, Josh Schutt, Sly Fox, and Tango Down for their support of the channel, along with all of our other Patreon supporters as well. And as always, I want to thank everyone that played, and remember, never give up, even if you're dead on board. I'll see you guys later.